I would imagine that the drones are actually, some of them anyway, are flying cars. Especially since some people said that they were the size of cars. They're likely flying cars. You can call that a conspiracy theory, but they've been working on that for a long time. They just don't tell us anything. My grandfather, who I said, he was involved with Lockheed before they were Lockheed Martin, and they had some falling out. I never knew my grandfather. He died early in his life, but he died of cirrhosis of the liver. He was an alcoholic, but he had quit. And then Scientology, he got a hold of him. The whole story around him is very strange. But he had a chip company with two others out of Illinois. I can't find it anywhere on the internet, though. I mean, there should be some record of it. There isn't. But he did. It was they dealt with chips, and they were working on flying cars. So that goes back to he died before I was born, so that would be back when he was involved, and it was in the 50s. And he had some falling out with Lockheed, and then Lockheed went on to become Lockheed Martin, as everyone knows, that's involved in military planes and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I wonder if Scientology, because they, I'm going to prove this in a minute because there's patents on this, but I wonder if the falling out, and I'm just speculating. My grandmother had a hard time getting Scientology to leave them alone. It was only after he died they left him alone. But my grandmother literally moved the family to California to get them away from all, because they just kept milking my grandfather for money. And it just seems strange how he got pulled. Like, my grandmother and him were like, and my mom, and their two kids, they had three, but the third one hadn't been born yet. They had went to some like Scientology thing. So I don't know if that's what the government does, because, and then they had a falling out, and so Scientology just harassed him. But they're the ones that told him he could drink again, and he was doing great not drinking. And then they told him no, he can control his drinking, and so that's what took his life early. So they were working on flying cars back then, and I'm sure even before that. So this is just one patent. I'll show several in a minute, and then you'll realize that maybe your drones are flying cars. A flying car that does not require complex transformation between, this is a patent, between a car and an aircraft. The flying car can quickly take off from land, such as road or parking, and can land on the road or parking. The flying car is of triangular shape, and I'll show pictures of it. Having a broad front and narrow rear. Three motorized members are coupled to three corners of a frame of the flying car. Each of the three motorized members includes a wheel assembly that includes a wheel and a wheel frame, an inner ring and an outer ring, coupled to each other and both mounted to the wheel frame. A fan mounted on the inner ring and one or more turbines mounted on the outer ring. So these are all patents here, okay? All patents. And you can see when they were published. This one up here was 1982, 2021, 2013, and you could see what flying land vehicle and aircraft combination, flying car with fore and airlifting surfaces, telescopic wing and rack systems for automated airplane. Here's more, and I'll show these a little closer up in a minute. Winging car, road air vehicle, and most of these you're not needing, a whole lot of special certificates for them. So that very first page that I read, that paragraph, that's talking about this one. You see it's a triangular shape. This is from the rear view, obviously. Front view. See how the wheels are? and another angle. But there's a whole lot more. A whole lot more. Telescopic wing and rack system for automotive airplane. And I think if I'm correct, it says up there that the wings, they can fold over. Yeah, wings and a foldable frame. Here's a road air vehicle. It's able to quickly and easily convert between two configurations, air configuration and road configuration, to facilitate practical operation as both an aircraft and as an automobile. In air configuration, the craft includes two laterally symmetrically flight surfaces. Here's some other different ones. Do any of them look like drones? Because I'm sure that some of them, that's what they are. This was 2012. You could say winging car. Road air vehicle. This was what, 2003. So the technology is far more than we can imagine. It always is. Always. A convertible vehicle for road, air, and water. A convertible combined road, water, and aircraft vehicle has a road form, water form, and an aircraft form. The vehicle includes a vehicle body having a passenger compartment and wheels supporting the vehicle body on the ground. When in the road form, a wing assembly is attached to each side. And they just have tons of these. So this is nothing new. Like, look here, this is 2006, above that, 2011. It goes way, way back. This hybrid one, transformation method of hybrid transformation vehicle for ground and air, includes the following transformation and reciprocal steps: tilting the compensation cover on, expansion of both whole wings from the transportation vehicle longitude position around to vertical axis. So they fully can do, this is fully something that goes on. We're just not told about it because it's not like they think the American people should know any of this. It's always been that way with the government and science. And I know I showed this one already, but if you read like the paragraph up there, it says the invention is a vehicle for personal transportation, with the ability to convert between two alternate modes of transport, as an automobile for transportation on roads and as a personal aircraft for travel between municipal airports, utilizing retractable telescoping wings and a foldable frame. And then if you go to that middle one, flying car with fore and lifting surfaces, a flying vehicle with folding wings that drives well on the ground and flies well in the air, controlled from inside. It changes from automotive to aircraft configuration without the operator needing to get out of the vehicle. The balance point of the vehicle is located midway between the front. So do you realize that? So they don't even, it can go from driving to flying. And yet you're never told about any of this. So I'm not saying all those drones are flying cars, but some people, of course, and it was reported on the news, said that, and some of these not needing fuel, by the way. Yeah, that's the big thing that we've not been told is, which is why energy is such a big deal. Free energy. Think of all the things they can't enslave you under. That's why they don't want you to know. Because if you have free energy, then it was free because God made it that way, and this world has decided to turn everything into how they can make a buck off of it. That's the way it is.